today we've got something a little bit more unusual for you. And so, in fact, it was quite shocking for me what we saw in the end. Now, in a moment, you're going to see a film we took when we went to Highgate Cemetery in London, which is an extremely famous cemetery where Karl Marx is buried and various other famous personages. And I took on a journey through it. But will we see a ghost? Wow. You wait and see. This one really shook me because I've taken I've studied ghost pictures a lot. I used to write a column in one of the magazines, and we used to look at and scrutinize the ghost pictures, and there was always something that was not quite right with the images. You know, I could explain most of them, you know, something to do with the focal length, maybe something on the lens, maybe mist on the lens, maybe, and so on. There was plenty of things you could explain. But frankly, I find this next one very hard to explain. I think it possibly could be a reflection of something, but you're going to have a look and see what you think, because it was a very weird and caught us by surprise. And yeah, so you're going to have a look at this. Now, Highgate Cemetery, if you don't know, it's in London. It's the north of London. I used to live up near that way years and years ago, actually, and I'd never been to it before. But this time I had a look round it, and I'm looking for some of the ghosts, some of the famous ghosts of Highgate. For example, there's supposed to be the Highgate vampire. I didn't know this till actually after we'd been there, and I've checked it out on the web. But that was one of the most infamous legends of the place, so-called Highgate vampire. It's supposed to be a sort of a dark figure with weird eyes and things like this. It's supposed to stalk the cemetery, and I think someone even said they see it carrying a corpse, which obviously sounds a bit like imagination, but it is a very spooky place. Now, this what happened to us was all in broad daylight that we saw. Well, towards the end of the evening, in the twilight, but you know, it wasn't dark. It wasn't what you'd expect. And others have seen swirling mist there. Apparently, a shrouded figure has been seen there. A phantom cyclist has even been seen going through the graveyard, and a mad old woman is seen to be there, as well as various floating men and things like this. So it's been the place of legends. Of course it has, and there's so many famous people buried there. But what we saw, I think, will amaze you, perhaps, or maybe not. But anyway, whatever, I'd love to have all your comments later on. And again, if you're here for the first time, I know it's a different theme this week, but always give us a thumbs up if you can, because it helps the algorithm. It helps to push it up the links a bit, the charts a bit, as it were nowadays with these things. And if you're here for the first time, obviously follow us. It's not always ghost stories we tell on this. It's about predicting the news and all sorts of things. But anyway, I'd love to get your take on this. See what you think. Right, today I'm in one of the most haunted places in the world, Highgate Cemetery, where Karl Marx is buried and lots of other famous people. Let's see if we see some famous ghosts. Right. We've got George Michael buried here, and all sorts of people dying to get in. So here we go, and this is a little exhibition area where where it just tells you what's what. God, spooky enough as it is, and isn't that voice weird? Okay, we've got the East Cemetery there, and we've got the West Cemetery there. And the West Cemetery was built first, 1839. It says West Cemetery across the road was opened in 1839. From its earliest days, it was intended not as a place for the bereaved to mourn, but also a visitor attraction, even in its time. And Highgate Cemetery is world famous as the burial place for Karl Marx. Of course, it's also one of the most romantic and atmospheric cemeteries in Europe, and one of the most haunted, they say. There's some very weird stuff here. They're doing a tour here. Fortunately, we got here a bit late for the tour. I'm sure we'll discover a few strange things anyway, because this is
an incredible place, and like it said, it was seen as a place of leisure as well as being a place for people to be buried. You start to see that the important guys at the front and the less important ones at the back. I don't think I'd like to get lost here at night. It looks like roads go off in all sorts of directions, and this is only one half of it. Got east and west. Some real spooky graves. Family graves, it's kind of a shuddery thing, isn't it? God, look at this up here. This is weird. Looks like I'm going into somewhere from some underground secret chamber. Look at this, all crypts. People buried in each one. Doors to other worlds. People's lives. And the thing about this place, it just goes on. God, what a weird place. Look at this. Strange circular tombs. Just go round and round too. All sorts of directions. What's here? A weird door, isn't it? Very odd stuff. You can see why people say it's haunted. I'm sure it is. I mean, I don't know if I'm really going to pick anything up on that, but certainly very, very odd. Very odd. Like the catacombs in Rome, really. It's endless burial chambers. Real pit in the pendulum, isn't it? The others are gone, got lost. Yeah. No names above the doors. Don't know if there's anyone famous here. Strange up here, looking down on it. I mean, it's set underground slightly, which gives it that eerie, damp, echoey feel as we walk around it. It looks like they locked this guy in. Someone's been in there because it's a modern lock. He tried to get out, obviously. I'm not actually bothered about Karl Marx, but if we come across him, we come across him. George Wombwell, the Wombwells of Wimbledon Common. I mean, this place just seems to go on and on and on. Tons of it. I mean, people come here looking for ghosts and things, but I like the atmosphere of the silence of this place. Most of the people are left now because we're getting closer to closing time, but there's a real eerie silence. Kind of found an area now where there's just nobody around. We don't get lost. I'm sure I haven't got the map. Dickens path. Don't know, even I could retrace the steps. Yeah, definitely not a place to get lost. Not a place to get lost. Well, this looks a bit more cheerful this side. This is the sunny side of the street, I suppose. A road goes right through the middle of the graveyard, but that's only because the graveyard was originally built on both sides, apparently, and the road came later. But yeah, a nice cheerful graveyard this side. Lots of sunshine. That grave actually has a death mask on it, so you can actually see the face of the person. Odd sort of memory to have, but there you go. They used to make a cast of the faces, of course. I think they used to put the angels on the ones that had died tragically and suddenly, actually. God, this one's a bit odd. Look at this one here. Oh God, that's weird. Old 1950s. So I suppose that's kind of arty, isn't it, really? But that's an artist of some sort. And here ones have all got a bit Art Nouveau-y look to this grave. It's like even the skeptics have got their graves here too. Founder of New Scientist, it said. I wonder what he thinks about the afterlife. Owners even brought a little ball for the dog there. So some of these are quite modern, actually, some of these graves. Well, it looks like I didn't find Karl Marx, but who cares? He's a atheist, of course, so his spirit won't be here. But maybe next time.
So there was a Highgate Cemetery, but did we capture anything? Well, I didn't think so at the first, because when I looked at the GoPro footage, which is what you watched in this movie, we didn't see anything really that seemed to be extraordinary, apart from a rather nice setting. Well, I mean, good story, wasn't it? But when we got home, we looked at the iPhone footage, and we'd taken a shot of my granddaughter, Willow, and have a look at this. This is the original footage. This is the first thing. This is it unexpanded, just as it is. Take a look at this shot. Okay, it's only short. Again, so annoying with what we could call ghost pictures, because they're always so fuzzy, aren't they? But did you see that in the corner on that gravestone? I looked at it for a second. Maybe it's a reflection of someone going by or something like that. But when you look at it closely, I mean, it looks very, very odd indeed. To me, it looks like something like a monk or something like that. What do you think? Here, now I'm going to show you it here. Now blowing up bigger. Right, take a look. Here, take a look at this. What do you think of this? Okay, and now let's again have a look at it just a few times so you can see what it is. I'd be really interested what you guys think. Take a look at this. So what do you think of that? I mean, there's absolutely no messing around with this. Honest to God, this is just taken straight off an iPhone. I've enlarged it, obviously, so you can see that reflection. But apart from that, nothing's been done or tampered with that video. What do you think it is? Let's have your comments in the description below. Seriously, it was a very, very weird ghost picture. And now I've taken I've worked for magazines and things like that where we look at ghost pictures and things, and is it a reflection? Is it something wrong with the lens? Is it bringing a camera out of a warm pocket and putting it in a place and it mists up and it looks like misty things? I've never seen anything quite like that. So there you go, Highgate Cemetery, one of the most haunted places in the world, they say. And unexpectedly, we caught a ghost.
Is death the end, or does a new world await us? In my book called What to Do When You're Dead, I examine the evidence for life after death. Drawing on the insights of spiritual traditions, the latest scientific research, and my own work as a psychic medium, you are shown what the afterlife is really like. What happens after death is so unspeakably beautiful that our feelings and imagination cannot come close to expressing it. At death, we enter a world filled with magical light, ethereal sounds, and magnificent landscapes that are beyond anything we have ever experienced. As we enter this dimension of the multiverse, our surviving consciousness opens to a state of blissful being that is incomprehensible to the narrow awareness of earthly life. We will all be going there, so isn't it time you read the manual to find out what it's really like? The book, What to Do When You're Dead, tackles the big questions of life, the reason for death, and the final purpose of existence. Its aim is to help you to overcome the fear of death by preparing for the afterlife. What you'll read is not fantasy or religious belief. It's based on verified information revealed through spirit communicators and from those who have had near-death experiences. It is complemented by the mystical teachings from multiple spiritual traditions and ancient teachings. You will come away with answers to many questions and gain insights about what it's like to die and awaken in a new world. The book explains that we are not the body and that after death we can travel in a body of light. The book will challenge you and I hope also inspire you to investigate the wonders of life after death. What to Do When You're Dead is available now through Amazon or my website at psychics.co.uk.